This is the video you're looking for. Subscribe and hit the like button. Stay around. Hello and welcome back to another episode of SuggesTing. This month is special. This game is special. And before I go on, I'm gonna have to clarify, this is very much a nostalgic childhood game about Star Wars. But I can recognize when something has aged poorly. Sorry, Conflict Desert Storm 2. But anyway, less about my disappointment of nostalgia, and more about this. Let's see if I'll be suggesting Star Wars Super Bombad Racing. Super Bombad Racing. How can I describe this? Imagine Mario Kart, but based on the Star Wars Phantom Menace, with bobbleheads, hovering mini versions of starships. However, this is a light-hearted racing game that allows you to destroy your enemies with a variety of weapons and a battle mode whilst visiting some iconic locations from the Phantom Menace. Racing is actually a blast, and there are a few ways you can go about it. There are races, which are one course and done. These aren't exactly difficult, and you might randomly have one other good racer among them, but it isn't uncommon to lap some of them as well. I can't tell if that's everyone's experience or just mine, and other tryhards because we learn all the shortcuts and boost item locations. Next up is Circus, of which there are 4. They are 3 courses together, apart from one which is a little short, but it's a nice, light-hearted racing time for some short fun. That being said, it can be brutal if you lose. Only the top 4 gain points. So for first place, you get 30 points, second 20, third 10, and fourth place 1. There's actually 8 of you as well. I feel like this was to avoid any ties, but everyone else gains nothing and you can get eliminated, but 2 first places and you'll have it covered. So, get good. The main event is the Galactic Circuit, which has every track in one big old cup. And just when you get used to all the tracks, they have a mirrored mode. For me personally, who knows the tracks pretty well, they can really catch me off guard with how a wrong turn can lead you down a ditch. What characters are there? The best of all Star Wars. Jar Jar, who I always play as. Where else can you hear the iconic line?
Who's the bestest racer?
Thank you, Jar Jar. But less about my favourite, and who else can you play as? Darth Maul, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Anakin Skywalker, Queen Amidala, Boss Nass, Sebulba, Yoda, and an unlockable character, Darth Vader. They do in fact have differences in stats, but the game has no real way of showing this to you, but they all vary in weight, turning, top speed, and acceleration. I just wish they showed this in some meaningful way. I could tell they felt a little different, but it wasn't until I googled this that I actually learned that. Something this game doesn't lack is track variety. They all vary in both aesthetics a lot, and to a reasonable degree, the layout. So let's go over them track by track, and yes, they are all locations, apart from one, from Phantom Menace. But here we go. Naboo Swamp, quite a small map and nothing too exciting about it. Consider it a slightly more advanced baby park, but for Super Bombad Racing. The Dune Sea, it's coarse, rough, irritating, and it goes everywhere. This is where they bring in shortcuts and third-party factors like angry Jawas who will shrink you if you don't dodge them. Theed City is a nice map, it has a bit of everything, alternative routes, shortcuts, alongside some third-party factors such as droids and tanks. But instead of me covering every single track to you, because they all vary a good amount and some iconic locations, but I will just end up repeating what I've just said. So, Naboo houses both its swamps, capital, and Gungan City. However, my favourite of that planet is called Power Station, otherwise known as the home to the duel between Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, and Darth Maul. The soundtrack is actually surprisingly catchy, and they serve as a more light-hearted, upbeat version of the original tracks, which is something you could probably say about most of the songs in this game. Tatooine houses the Dune Sea and the pod racing course of Mos Espa, but outside of these planets you have Coruscant and the droid control ship. I like this one a lot because of the environmental factors. It's one of the few levels that introduce the idea of a full 3D moving because they have a space section, just like the Gungan City with its water section. That doesn't actually suck. But also, it's one of the only maps where I still fall and take wrong turns, and all round just fail all the time, which as someone who's played this game a lot, on and off for years, is actually quite nice. If there was any criticism for these tracks, it would be that there isn't enough of them. I recompleted these individually, and in circuits, in both modes, all together, and I wasn't racing for more than 2 hours. If I was to play devil's advocate to myself, it would be that you should treat this as more of a party game, even if it is limited to 2 people, or 4 if you have the multi-tab. If you're old enough to know what that is. The battle mode, in the easiest way to describe this, it is a battle royale. You, alongside 7 other CPUs, go around in a smallish round map, trying to take everyone else down before you inevitably fall. If you play with someone else, when one of you falls, you are a blue bird, and you can actually place traps to try and help your friend, or hinder them. The maps, of which there are 5, all look and feel different, and for a change, a throwback to another film with the Hoth asteroid from Empire Strikes Back, which has a great soundtrack by the way. But the others are the following. Naboo Plains, where the battle between the Gungans and the droids take place. If you want to see the beast that ate Boba Fett 3 times, that's right, 3 times, is our boy the Sarlacc Pit, and he does some big old damage. And the Jedi Temple. Who needs Order 66 when you can shoot the Jedi and the Sith to oblivion and end it all early? The last up is a cheat map to add, and that is a freighter. Something that shows this game's age inadvertently is the fact it has cheats that can be activated from the menu, and these are actually insane and what you can do to help keep this game fresh and fun. So here's a little list of them. All Death Star mode, which turns every item into Vader's special move, and as you can imagine, it's pretty strong. You have infinite boost, mirrored mode, play as Boba Fett, a tank, shark racers, and even Naboo Kasadu? I don't know how you say it. If you find it too easy, you can also activate slippery and spinning mode, turbo mode, AATs, a ton of languages from English, French, German, Spanish, Italian, but what made me laugh was the Jawa and Battle Droid, because Kadu racers as well are these tiny Naboo creatures on boosting treadmills, and last off is the Freighter Arena and a Super Arena mode, which turns normal circuits into a battle royale. Yeah, there's a lot, but I think these are something that is genuinely good for the game to make it fresh and fun when you've done everything you can do. Star Wars Super Bombad Racing is a fun, light-hearted racing game that should be played with friends and or family because it can't be played for too long. According to eBay, you can pick this up for roughly £4, so if you fancy a blast from the past, then pick it up for the PlayStation 2. If you're a Star Wars fan like me, I can recommend it. But if you're not a Star Wars fan, or don't even have the nostalgia, or you want to play an old racing game, this is where I struggle to recommend it, because it's so outdated compared to titles nowadays. So, this is our first mixed video. I am blinded by Star Wars, nostalgia, I have a ton of fun, and I love this game, but please bear that in mind when I'm suggesting Star Wars Super Bombad Racing. Thank you for sticking by to the end of this video. I would just like to show my appreciation to not only my existing, but my new Patreon members. So thank you very much to Samson, Sly, MRC, and Super Tanukian, who don't only help financially support this show, but also have faith in the content that we put out, which brings me genuine joy. And on that note, I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Have a wonderful, wonderful week, whatever you're doing, and I'll see you guys next time. Score.